So welcome to the end of week 2. For this week's mini project, I'll just show you. Our mini project is Guess the Number. Now, I've kind of decided we're going to have a weekly tradition here where I'm going to wear a t-shirt dedicated to each week's mini project. To do this, I went out to Cafe Press and I looked for a t-shirt on Cafe Press that was appropriate for this, and all I could find were t-shirts that said "Guess what?" and had a picture of a chicken. So I'm going to let you Google that before if you want to figure out exactly what the theme of that t-shirt was. So I just settled for making a custom t-shirt here for Guess the Number. You probably played this game before. It's a game that you see on TV and The Price is Right, for example. So it'll be pretty easy to explain. I'm going to give a demo of it, and then I'm going to show you a program template we provided for you building your mini project, and then I'll give you a quick demo of my implementation of Guess the Number. So I promised you an explanation of Guess the Number. It's a fairly simple game. It's played by 2 players. Player 1 chooses a secret number between 0 and 100. Doesn't tell the other player. The other player then makes guesses of numbers between 0 and 100, to which the first player, who actually knows the number, responds higher, lower, or correct. So I don't have anybody else around here. It's Saturday afternoon to play against. We're going to be very creative in how I give my demonstration of playing Guess the Number. All right, let's play. You got your number? Okay. 50. Lower. 25. Higher. 37. Higher. 43. Lower. 41. Higher. 42. Correct. Yeah. Well, sorry about that. I'm trying my best to keep you entertained here, at least not get too bored. So let's finish this off and I'll walk you through building Guess the Number. So here I have the mini project description for Guess the Number. It has a little bit of introduction. Most importantly, we have some steps you need to go through when you're implementing Guess the Number. This project development process I think is very useful. Rice students really liked it. At the end of the description page here, we have a grading rubric. This is what your peers are going to use when they assess your project. So please go through each of the items in here and make sure your project meets the terms set out in the rubric. To get started, go up here and click this link. This is going to pop up a template for Guess the Number. So it throws up a file sitting in here in CodeSculptor and has some comments that kind of give you the outline of how this might work. It points out you're going to need to implement 3 event handlers here, 2 for buttons and 1 for your input field. Maybe the best thing to do is I'll just actually run my implementation for you real quick here. So this is actually my implementation of Guess the Number. So I've just actually finished playing a game here, but let's focus on this side for now. We have some templates, some modules you need to import. Set a global variable. Here I create a frame. Here I go through and register 2 event handlers for the buttons. Here I register the event handler for the input field. But the heart of this are these 4 functions here. Now, 3 of these functions appear in your program template. They're the event handlers for the 2 buttons and the event handler for the input field. This is a function that I built that we call whenever we want to either initialize or restart the game. Now, the critical thing is although I've shown you my code, you can't really see the important part. And I've hidden it using a feature of CodeSculptor called code folding. So if you click on the left-hand side of a number here, and that number happens to correspond to, for example, the definition for a function, CodeSculptor will actually hide the body of the function. And that has several uses. First thing is when you're working on programs that get a little larger, if you don't want to actually see what the function does, you just want to actually know that it's defined, you can click on this to kind of save screen space. The second thing you can do is use it like I'm using, where I'm actually showing you my code, but I'm hiding the meaty parts, so you get to sit down and actually get practice building the important pieces of the program. So let's just run it real quick here, and I'll show you how Guess the Number works. So when I click Run, it pops up a frame, and over here in the console, it prints out a message that we're starting a new game. Its range is from 0 to 100. And notice we're ready to play immediately. We don't have to do anything to get a game started. Over here on the frame, I have an empty canvas. We'll start using Canvas next week. I have two buttons that correspond to the range for guess the number. And then I have a place here where I can enter a guess. So let's just play a game real quick from 0 to 100. So I'm going to start off with 50. It says it's higher. Let's try 75. It says it's lower. Let's try 62. It says higher. Let's try 68. It says lower. Let's try 65. Okay, good job. I actually got it fairly quickly. One thing to notice here is in the games, I restrict you to a small number of guesses. In fact, with 7 guesses, you can always win at guess the number if you run the right algorithm. You always have the space of possible values for the secret number. This is called binary search. We talked about this in the project description. If you click the other button here, range 0 to 1,000, it starts a game now with the range from 0 to 1,000. It turns out you can always win if you're allowed 10 guesses. So let's just play for a little bit. So if I say 500, it says lower. Well, let's try 250. It says lower. Let's try 125. It says lower. Okay, let's go back and just go back to 0 to 100 because it takes a little while to play this. So notice when I click this, it goes back now and restarts a new game with a value from 0 to 100. So this is a little bit of an overview for what you need to do to build a working version of Guess the Number. I'm going to be out there. I'll be monitoring the class forums. Good luck, and I think you'll have fun.